ones last.
Hi, and welcome back to
Rogues Crime Galleria.
I'm your host, Todd H., and today we're going to get into the strange case of Carl Tanzler. Can you love somebody too much? Listen, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and we can continue to bring you this great material every week on Mondays and Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But right now, let's get into it.
All right, welcome to the Deep Dive, everybody. Today we're going all the way back to the 1930s for a story that's truly, really unsettling. Key West, Florida. The very strange case of Carl Tanzler.
Oh, this one. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those stories that just stays with you, doesn't it? I mean, the obsession, the just bizarreness of it all, it's fascinating. And you found some really, really great sources for this deep dive, by the way.
Well, we had to cover all the angles.
You've got that sensational Ripley's Believe It or Not take. We've got the more sort of analytical analysis from KQED Pop and the lineup, and even a piece that was originally in Indonesian.
That's right.
Which gets into some really, really visceral details, and it just shows how differently this whole story can be interpreted.
Exactly. And for you, our listener, what we want to do today is to navigate this just incredibly strange story. Try to understand really what happened. Separate, some of the documented facts from some of the more, colorful interpretations. Mm-hmm. And explore why this story is just so unsettling. So where do we begin? Well, I guess it all starts with Carl Tanzler.
Right.
From Germany originally.
Mm-hmm.
He comes to Key West, gets a job as an X-ray technician at the U.S. Marine Hospital. And apparently he sometimes referred to himself as Count
Tanzler, yeah. And what's so interesting here is this whole story that he creates about his interest in Maria Elena right from the beginning. Mm-hmm. He says that even as a child, he had these visions. He was visited by a deceased ancestor, and this ancestor showed him the face of his true love, always an exotic, dark-haired woman.
Wow.
Right. And it makes you think about how easily we latch onto these narratives, even if they're self-proclaimed, to kind of explain our behavior, right?
Yeah.
Especially when it's something as extraordinary as what happens in this case. This desire for a reason is something we're going to see pop up again and again, when we look at how the public reacts to this whole thing.
So this fateful encounter, at least according to Tanzler, happens in the 1930s at the hospital when in walks Maria Elena Milagro de Hoyos. Young Cuban-American woman, early 20s. Tanzler, by the way, is in his 50s at this point. Immediately declares she's the woman from his visions.
Wow. So you see this immediate power imbalance, right?
World.
Older man who believes he's found his soulmate based on what might be, completely made up childhood memory, encounters this young woman, and tragically she's been diagnosed with tuberculosis.
Yeah.
This is not your typical, start of a whirlwind romance. It adds a really somber, unsettling dimension to his professions of love.
It really does. So Tanzler takes it upon himself to try to cure Elena. Now, he was an X-ray technician. He didn't have a ton of medical training.
Right.
But he starts bringing X-ray equipment to her home, showering her with jewelry, clothes, declaring his undying love. One of our sources actually jokes that maybe she was just thinking, can I just die in peace?
Yeah, totally. I mean, talk about a lack of self-awareness, right? I mean, and that really highlights how different their experiences must have been. We've got Tanzler hyper-focused on her. But what was she going through facing this terminal illness with this, frankly, creepy older guy fawning all over her? It's a big unknown, right?
Yeah, it really is a one-sided story,
Yeah.
We're doing our best here,
Yeah.
trying to piece it together. Sadly, Elena passes away on October 25, 1931. Just 22 years old.
So young.
And that's where things take this really, really dark, disturbing turn. I mean, Tanzler's behavior after her death it's bizarre, to say the least.
It's just off the rails, isn't it? So first, he makes a death mask of her face. I mean, that's already kind of unusual.
Yeah.
Then he gets permission from her family to pay for the funeral. And he builds her this above-ground mausoleum in the Key West Cemetery. But, and this is where it gets really weird, he insists on an airtight casket with what he calls an incubator tank full of formaldehyde, trying to prevent decomposition.
He's already trying to, cheat death at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
And it doesn't stop there. He visits this mausoleum almost every night for about a year and a half.
Every night?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And according to him, during these visits, Elena's spirit would appear, sing to him in Spanish, beg him to take her away.
So this is key, I think, to understanding his state of mind, however delusional. Hallucinations, grief, wishful thinking, who knows?
Yeah.
But he clearly believes she wanted him to take her, and this belief, however messed up, becomes his justification for what he does next.
Which is just mind-blowing. In April 1933, he sneaks into the cemetery with, get this, a toy wagon.
A toy wagon.
Removes her body from the mausoleum and takes it back to his house.
I mean, grave robbery. It's just so macabre. And once he has her body, he starts this incredibly detailed and disturbing project to preserve her. I mean, the details they're really tough to stomach. Coat hangers, Wire, the Indonesian source, specifically mentions gantungan dan kabel to reattach her bones, glass eyes inserted into her sockets, memasang kacamata di rongga matanya, it says. I mean...
Her skin, which would have been, decomposing at this point, he tries to replace with silk cloth soaked in wax, linen, and plaster of Paris, plaster puta. Even stuffs rags into her body cavities, rongo peru dandada, to maintain some kind of human shape.
It's just, I mean, you have to acknowledge the effort. However misguided and frankly insane it was, he wasn't just keeping her body, he was actively rebuilding her.
Yeah.
Even makes her a wig from her real hair that her mother had given him. The Indonesian article says, "Mengenakan wig yang biasa dipakai Maria Elena." Like, it was her actual wig.
And the smell of decomposition must have been overwhelming.
Oh, absolutely.
So he uses liters and liters of perfume, litered and liter parfum, the Indonesian piece says, and formaldehyde to mask the smell. Menyembunyikan bau busuk.
Yeah, and formaldehyde is a preservative, but at that point, I mean, it highlights just how delusional he was.
It really does.
So he keeps this body in his bed for 7 years. 7 years. He's dancing with her in his bedroom, according to one source. And there's even the suggestion, and this is really disturbing, of necrophilia.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, one source details how he allegedly inserted a paper tube.
Okay, I think we get it. It's hard to even fathom. 7 years.
It's unbelievable.
Living with this preserved corpse as if she were alive. But, eventually, rumors start to fly.
Right. People notice he's not at the mausoleum anymore. He's buying all this women's clothing, tons of perfume. A local boy even claims he saw Tanzler dancing with what looked like a giant doll in his window.
Uh-huh. It's Elena's sister, Florinda, who finally confronts him in 1940.
Yeah.
And she makes this horrific discovery. Elena's body is in his bedroom, so of course she calls the police.
And Tanzler's arrested for wantonly and maliciously destroying a grave and removing a body without authorization. Which doesn't even seem to cover it, really. And get this, a psychiatric evaluation declares him sane. Sane. One source even says, surprisingly so. And then all charges are dropped. Statute of limitations.
You'd think this would be a case that would horrify people.
Right.
But the public reaction is really strange. A lot of people actually felt sorry for him.
They saw him as like a hopeless romantic, just a little eccentric. It's amazing how we romanticize things, even when it's this messed up.
Yeah, it really is. So after his arrest, there's actually a public viewing of Elena's body.
Really?
At the Dean Lopez Funeral Home. Thousands of people attend. One source says 6,000, another says 8,500. Schools even let out early so kids could go see her disturbing wax-like features. It becomes this huge spectacle. Newspapers like the Key West Citizen and the Miami Herald are all over it.
It's just, I don't even know what to say to that.
It's wild. So Elena's body is finally reburied in an unmarked grave this time, so no one can,
Right.
And Tanzler's response. He sets off a bomb at the site of her original mausoleum.
Oh my God.
He eventually moves to Pasco County, Florida, 1944. His estranged wife is actually supporting him financially, gets his U.S. citizenship, but the obsession never fades. He writes an autobiography, gets it published in some pulp magazine, and he even creates a life-size sculpture of Elena using the death mask he made.
Wow.
Tanzler dies in 1952, and of course his death is just as unsettling as his life. They find him almost a month later lying on the floor in the arms of this effigy of Elena wearing her death mask.
Oh, come on.
In his diary he writes, "Human jealousy has robbed me of the body of my Elena, yet divine happiness is flowing through me, for she has survived death. Forever and ever, she is with me."
Chilling.
So as we wrap this up for you, our listener, the obsessive visions, the one-sided courtship of this dying young woman, grave robbing, years spent preserving a corpse, and then this weird public sympathy.
It really makes you think, what does this say about love, obsession, how we deal with the truly strange, madman, misguided romantic, or like some of our sources suggest something much more complicated and disturbing.
A lot to think about.
It is.
We'll leave it there for today. Thanks for listening.
Thanks, everybody.
Hey, thanks for watching and listening to another unforgettable episode of
Rogues Crime Galleria.
I'm your host, Todd H., and tonight Well, let's say Carl Tanzler took the phrase "till death do us part" a little too literally, and then decided death wasn't part of the deal at all. If you ever thought your ex was clingy, Tanzler raised the bar, preserved it, dressed it up, and serenaded it with an organ. A love story? Yeah, more like a horror film wrapped in roses and formaldehyde. A big thank you to my brilliant co-hosts, Eli Stone, who could spot a weirdo in a crowd of mannequins, and Nora Steele, whose wide eyes alone could send a necrophile running. You two make the macabre a little more manageable every week. Now, if you enjoyed tonight's journey through the strange and unsettling, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe, share us with your fellow dark history buffs, and tap that notification bell if you're knocking on a crypt door, just to be sure no one's still home. Trust me, you won't want to miss the next episode. So that's tonight's show, and we'll see you next time
On Rogues Crime Galleria.
Step inside, don't look back. Every shadow's got a name. From the alleys where the cold steel sings, to the suits with blood on diamond rings, ghosts of power, greed, and flame. Every legend leaves a stain. Whispers crawl through history's halls, mugshots hanging on haunted walls. Outlaws riding, empires fall. You're one step from it all. Truth gets buried, lies get tall, but we're the ones who hear the call. Welcome to the Rogues Galleria, where the wicked live forever. Every crime, every killer's tale, locked in time, we unveil. Yeah, the darkness tells ya you can't run from your past. In the Rogues Galleria, we make the legends last. We make the legends last. Ponzi kings with a silver grin, my boss deals in a world of sin. Six gun smoke in a desert sky, another outlaw lives a lie. Cold case files and a killer's code, buried truths on a broken road. Every story that chills your spine, we bring it back to life. No escape when the truth gets loud, faces staring from the crowd. Welcome to the Rogues Galleria, where the wicked live forever. Every crime, every killer's tale, locked in time, we unveil. Yeah, the darkness tells ya you can't run from your past. In the Rogues Galleria, we make the legends last. We make the legends last. Every name carved in the night, every wrong dressed up is right. If you listen, you'll hear them breathe in the gallery. They never leave. Welcome to the Rogues Galleria. Step inside, don't you falter. Every sin, every twisted mind, we expose what